Ipob condemns Supreme Court ruling overturning Nnamdi Kanu'S acquittal on terrorism charges. Good day, my dear listeners. Thanks for joining. I bring to you another interesting news as it states that the Ipob indigenous people of Biafra condemns Supreme Court ruling overturning Nnamdi Kanu'S acquittal on terrorism charges. Moving on to the full details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe to this channel and share. The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, have strongly criticized the Supreme Court of Nigeria for overturning the discharge of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, from terrorism charges filed by the federal government. Previously, a panel of 3 justices at the Court of Appeal unanimously dismissed the charges against Kanu, ruling that his abduction from Kenya and subsequent return to Nigeria violated local and international laws. The court ordered his release on those grounds. However, following an appeal by the federal government, the Supreme Court set aside the Court of Appeal's decision. The Apex Court ruled that the manner of Kanu's return to Nigeria was irrelevant and ordered that his trial continue. In a statement issued on Friday and signed by Barrister Onyedika Chilifedi, Ipob's Directorate of Legal Affairs and Global Communications, the group denounced the Supreme Court ruling, accusing it of undermining constitutional protections and enabling executive overreach. The statement read in part, "We condemn in the strongest terms the Supreme Court's betrayal of Constitution in FRN versus Nnamdi Kanu. By overturning a lawful discharge based on state-sponsored kidnapping, the court has violated non-derogable right, annulled the constitutional ban on double jeopardy, and reduced the judiciary to an instrument of executive lawlessness." Ipob argued that the court's introduction of a national security exception to fair trial right is a fraudulent reinterpretation of the Constitution, noting that Section 36 now explicitly prohibits retrial after acquittal. The group further stated, "The Court of Appeal's discharge was a final acquittal. The Supreme Court revival of dead charges serves state impunity. Court lacks jurisdiction where a defendant is procured through state abduction. The judgment rewards kidnapping as state policy, isolating Nigeria's judiciary among civilized nations." Ipob condemned the ruling for violating Nigerians' international obligations under the ICCPR and the African Charter and described the decision as tyranny disguised as jurisprudence. The group called on the global community to withhold full engagement with Nigeria until Nnamdi Kanu is freed and constitutional rule restored. Ipob declared the Supreme Court ruling null and demanded Kanu's immediate release. Additionally, Ipob urged for the reversal of the Supreme Court's decision and requested that the International Criminal Court investigate Nigerian officials for crimes against humanity related to abduction and denial of fair trial, urging sanctions against those responsible. My dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Now let's move down to the comment section. The first comment here says federal government is busy witch hunting NMK, while the real witches are sucking the blood of Nigerians daily and getting amnesty. Their bias is obvious and posterity will judge them. A comment here says October 10th will determine his faith. A comment who says we don't want to associate with anything called Nigerian again. Is it by force? Everyone has his or her own right. Self-determination is not a crime. You don't have the right to force me to belong. Well, I didn't want to belong. Referendum now. My dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news.